Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is book, B-O-O-K. And now, the one, the only...
Well, here I am again with a chance for each of our couples tonight to win $2,000. George, who's first to try for it?
Mrs. Chapman and Mr. R.M. Buckley are ready to play You Bet Your Life, Groucho.
Say the secret word, and you each get an extra $50. It's a common word, something you see every day. R.M. Buckley and Jerry Chapman, eh? Jerry, I'll start with you. You're the shortest. Where do you hail from, Jerry?
I was born in Cleveland, Ohio, but when I was 15 months old, we left there and traveled all over the country.
Oh. Well, are you married, Jerry?
Oh, yes, I am. After we were married, my husband enlisted in the Air Force, and we traveled around for 4 more years.
Well, did you ever settle down long enough to raise a family?
Well, no, but I had one. My children were born from one end of the country to the other. There were only 3, though.
You must have pretty long children if they were born. Now, Jerry, do you have any other interests, or are you merely a housewife?
Merely a housewife? Huh. A housewife has the most important and the hardest job in the world.
You really believe that?
Why, certainly I do. Thank you, one and all.
That's the husbands.
You can see the educated part of the audience.
No, that's
there.
not true. That's the wives forcing the husbands to applaud. Okay, I'm convinced. I think it's a sad commentary on the American scene that we spend a whole week honoring pickles on only one day per mother.
That's right. That's right.
That's been received with a resounding silence. There's a lot of pickle fanciers in the audience. And you are Mr. R.M. Buckley, huh?
That's right, sir.
What does the R.M. stand for, Mr. Buckley?
Richard Merle.
Richard, well, that's a fine name.
You're right, sir.
Great dignity.
Thank you.
Where is your hometown, Monsieur Buckley?
I was born in Tuolumne, California, Groucho. It's a little tiny town up above Sonora, California. Then I went down to Stockton and finished my schooling there. Then
Mr. Buckley, that Mr. sounds pretty formal. What do your friends usually call you?
Well, my friends usually call me Lord Buckley.
Lord Buckley? How'd you get to be a lord? Are you a wrestler?
Well, no, sir. You see, that's a philosophy of mine, that I claim that all ladies and gentlemen are lords and ladies. Were it not to be so, in calculi, the king and queen could not sit their throne. For it's very obvious that the Empire State Building can't be built on the frog patch, and if the sphere swings, the first 5 floors must have the ruby windows.
You know, all I asked him was what his name was. I'd ask you to repeat that, but I'm afraid the second time you might say it the same way you did the first time. Now, is there a Lady Buckley stashed away in a castle someplace?
Oh, yes, sir. My
Behind
Lady
a
Buckley.
moat?
Yes. No, she's in the castle. She's tucked very beautifully in the castle. Lady Buckley's a very exquisite, charming, gracious, talented lady.
Is she built on a frog pond, too?
No, sir.
I'm sure she's a lady, Mr. Buckley, and I respect you for speaking so well of her. How did you acquire this smooth way with women?
I've been married 6 times.
Well, if you'd have learned anything, you wouldn't have got married the second time. 6 times you've been married?
Yes, sir.
Well, are you planning on fighting any more preliminaries, or is this current one the main bout?
No, I've been married for 10 years, sir. I have a divine young boy, 4 years old, and little girl, 5.
See. The other 5 went rather rapidly, didn't they?
Quite, sir, yes.
Over the dam in no time.
High rhythm.
Have you ever been in vaudeville? You have a very familiar look about you.
Yes, sir. I toured vaudeville for quite some time, sir.
I suspected this.
Thank you.
Well, what kind of a racket are you in now?
Well, at the moment, sir, I'm working for a magazine called Dig.
Dig?
Yes, sir.
D-I-G?
Yes, sir.
Just what is this rag?
Well, I've been translating. I'm a professor of hippology, sir.
Oh.
Yes, I've been translating the work of the old masters, such as Poe, Shakespeare, Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln just translated his address recently. Shakespeare is very interesting in hip. It has a renewal power, a tremendous sense of renewal. Henry Miller calls it an international language because it takes the old masters and brings them up to the very instant of today and over the fence of now and on the pad of the Vance.
I hear a lot of people applauding. If there's anybody in the audience that understands that, will you stand up and explain it to me?
Well,
Are you going to stand there and tell me Shakespeare could have written his works better in jive talk?
yes, sir. Are you familiar with Shakespeare's funeral oration?
No, but I was very familiar with a girl in one of Shakespeare's company at one time.
A little translation for you.
Well, I certainly wish you would, and give us an
I
example.
could do an inch and a half of the Friends, Romans, Countrymen.
I would love it. Huh?
In Hip, it blows this way. It says, hipsters, clipsters, and finger, pop in daddy's knock me your lobes.
That means give me your ears, I presume.
I came here to lay Caesar out, not to hip you to him.
He's got Elvis Presley in here, too.
The bad jazz that a cat blows wails long after he's cut out.
You said a hatful there, Lord.
Groovy,
Just a moment now. Shh.
the groovy is often stashed with their frames, so don't put Caesar down.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful, Lord. All I can say is that it's a good thing that Shakespeare's dead. And if he'd been alive to hear it, that would have killed him. No, that was very clever. It's very difficult to do what you did. Well, you're an extremely quaint couple, even for our show.
Thank you, sir.
And you look like a very wealthy and successful confidence man.
Thank you.
And I wouldn't be at all surprised if somewhere in the back you have a suitcase full of counterfeit money.
Oh, sir, I beg of you.
I'm sure you'd like to win some real money, wouldn't you, Lord?
That would be delightful.
That would be a change from what you've been handling. I presume you both understand how we play You Bet Your Life?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, let's try it. You selected popular music of the last 20 years, and you used to be in vaudeville. This ought to be a cinch for you. Now, one answer between you and get together. Get 4 in a row right and you win $1,000. Miss 2 in a row and you're through. Jack Meekum will play the tune. You tell me the name of the song. Here we go. What is it?
You made me love you.
That's right. You're absolutely right. Tell him, George.
You're on the right track. 3 more right and you'll have
Oh,
$1,000.
boy.
What is this track you're talking about? Is this a train you're referring to?
A figure of speech.
Oh, I see. Well, that's a figure of speech. There's the train. All right, here we go. This one's a familiar tune. Name it. What is it?
Tisket or tasket?
You said it, kid. Tisket or tasket.
You're halfway there now. 2 more right and you'll have $1,000.
Can you sing that, Mr.
A
Buckley?
tisket, a tasket, a brown and yellow basket. Baba ja 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 ja.
That's very good. He's just a tall Louis Armstrong, actually.
Old Elvis Presley.
Thank you, sir.
Not so old either. He's had 6 wives, don't forget. All right, what is this one?
The lucky lady, the baby from Shady Lane.
That's close enough. That's close enough. It's the naughty lady.
Naughty lady. From
Naughty lady of Shady Lane. And you're very lucky that you got this man here to help you out here. All right, here we go for the big one now. Tell me the name of this one.
Autumn in New York.
That's right. Autumn in New York is right, and you win the money. All right, you won $1,000. You can keep it and quit, or else you can go for $2,000 at the end of the show. If you try for the $2,000 and miss, you wind up with $500 for the both of you. Now go over and sit down and think about it. And it's a lot of money. You make your decision. You bet your life.